BBC.
Hillary Clinton there. Well, this is Digital Planet. We're on air, online and podcasting from the BBC in London. I'm Gareth Mitchell, and still to come, an art movement. Well, a movement of art fairs from the real to the virtual space and from the elitist, hopefully, to the accessible. But before all that, well, I actually made a short movie of my day on Sunday.
So now it's late afternoon and I'm meeting a few friends in a little while, but I've just got a bit of time to do a bit of script writing actually, because Monday, tomorrow, is when I do the programme I work on, Digital Planet, and I'm actually doing a bit of the script about this very item, about me making this film.
There you go, it's my little masterpiece there. In fact, I was one of thousands around the world taking part in a venture describing itself as the largest participatory media event in history. The task, well, to make your own short film. And in fact, the only major stipulation was that you had to make the film on Sunday, do all the shooting on the Sunday. Now, that day's significant, apart from anything else, because of the date, the 10th of the 10th month in 2010. Well, the scheme was called One Day on Earth, and our reporter Ramon Goni in New York took part himself. And in fact, he's been telling me more about his own filmic experiences and those that he's been hanging about with. And he's also been telling me a little bit about the event itself.
I spent a day in New York with a very talented filmmaker working with some of the most cutting-edge equipment in the industry and with one of the organizers of the project. So I think we can just let Zach Mulligan, one of the participants, explain by himself why he's doing this.
It's a day just to have some fun and just kind of go explore my city. You know, I live in New York, I love the city, but I don't always get to go out and just kind of wing it and shoot things and kind of rediscover the place where you live.
Okay, so let's go out.
So there you are with Zach Mulligan there. So tell us, where did you go then exactly, and what kind of stuff were you filming?
Yeah, one of the multiple stories being filmed in New York, or a day in New York for us, was finding day laborers, see the basement where many of these immigrants, some of them illegal, live. And then we went to a massive stolen car parts market behind the Yankees baseball stadium where this happened. And the ice cream truck is a bit deceiving.
Drive. That was like a piece of metal, like right here on the car and outside. Like if he would have been a foot or two this way, it would have nailed me.
Okay, now something dramatic has happened there. You're in this stolen car parts market. You're behind the Yankee Stadium. Something is kicking off. Just talk us through what's happening at this point in the movie.
Yeah, well, right there we just got hit by a metal valve. Some of the people clearly were not very happy about the fact that we were filming in the area, which is what possibly happened in many other everyday life scenes other people were filming around the world. And that was in part one of the goals of the project, reaching out to underreported areas around the world and put them under the spotlight.
Right, and I was taking part myself, not in quite such a dramatic way, but you can see it's a very sort of creative network of people around the world taking part. So what's in it for all these filmmakers?
Yes, for filmmakers like Zach, this experience, even if it doesn't pay off financially, is a way of inspiration and also a potential creative networking tool. Then the network in return could remix content, give advice and feedback, provide video footage, or cut what is already there in multiple ways. Zach Mulligan explains.
I've been talking to some people through the One Day on Earth website. The creative capital could be huge. You know, a lot of new ideas will come out of that, certainly. Typically, the sort of riskier, more out there kind of stuff you're doing, the less likely you are to make any sort of money off of it. But at the same time, that's really been the work that often people look at later on and get inspired by.
So let's get a sense of the scope of all this then, because, I mean, it seems that there are some remarkable moments being captured and have been captured over the weekend. Give us a sense of the scope, the kinds of, you know, the depth and the breadth of what people have been filming.
Yeah, this event represents for the organizers the democratization of communications, especially in the choice of topics which should be addressed. From personal compelling stories, yesterday at least one birth out of at least 35 being filmed was captured. But also there are so many international topics being filmed. I mean, the UN was backing this project in more than 110 countries. There was some secret filming going on in North Korea, which we'll hear about in the next few days. and there were also contributors in Iran, Sudan. As a matter of fact, every participant can download all the footage that was uploaded yesterday and during the next few weeks and cut their own story of what the world was yesterday. But, according to some projections, 90% of the internet traffic by 2013 will be video.
A lot of it, some of which will be mine. That's Ramon Goni. And I know my film wasn't quite as dramatic as some of what we've been hearing about. I was just going to the cinema and hanging out with some friends. But anyway, see what you think of it. I've put it up on our Facebook group. So to find that, just type BBC Digital Planet into Facebook. Tell us what you think of that. So, Bill, what's your take on this? You like making the odd film here and there, don't you?
It has been known. I mean, I have no talent, no skill, but I do actually have the appropriate software sitting on my computer. And I have, now several HD cameras lying around. And I think one of the things about sort of One Day on Earth is that it shows that the ease with which it is now possible to pick up a camera, record what's happening in your life, and then edit it into something which is, if not brilliant and inspired, then at least acceptable. And I think what's going to be very fascinating is, as all the material starts coming in, not just your brilliant movie, and, it's a sharp, incisive insight into South London life, I have to say, worthy of some of the greats, but not just your movie, but other people's will come in. And we will start to see people using it in different ways, telling different stories, taking different approaches. And of course, in a year's time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, it will still be there. And that is going to be truly fascinating.
Yeah, enough of your sarcasm, Bill Thompson, about my filmmaking. But it's a lovely thing, though, isn't it? Because they've chosen this date. It's, the 10th of the 10th, 2010. They've got the concept, and it's just interesting to see what the world's up to on that date.
Well, and it's something that's been done before with photography. And I think it reflects the fact that, as the technology changes, the things we do with it changes. Science fiction writer Bruce Sterling liked to say that when all he could do on his laptop was write, he used to write stories. Then he realised he could put his photos on it. Then he realised he could edit audio. Then he realised he could edit video. And the capabilities grew as the technology in his hand allowed him to do more. That's what we're seeing here. The technology allows people to do all these wonderful things, and we take that opportunity.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that, Bill. And it's amazing. I just did mine on my little compact camera. It's not even a proper video camera.